எல்லா இடங்களிலும் பணி செய்திருக்கின்றார். அவர் பார்க்காத ரயில்வேவே கிடையாது. குறிப்பாக வந்து இராணுவத்திற்காக பிரத்யேகமாக உள்ள மில் ரயில்வே என்று சொல்லப்பட்ட அதிலும் கூட தன் பணி செய்திருக்கின்றார். உயர்ந்த விருதுகளை கூட பெற்றிருக்கின்றார். இந்த கமர்ஷியல் டிவிஷன் என்பது வந்து ஒரு முதுகெலும்பு இந்திய ரயில்வேக்கு மட்டுமில்லை, எந்த ஒரு ரயில்வேஸ் வந்தால் அது ஒரு முதுகெலும்பாக இருக்கிறது. பப்ளிக் என்று சொல்லப்படுற பொதுமக்களோடு தொடர்புடைய ஒரு துறை அது. அந்த துறைக்கு ஒரு தலைமை பொறுப்பிலே இன்றைக்கு சென்னையிலே அவர் சமீபத்திலே இங்கே பணியில் சேர்ந்திருக்கின்றார். அவரை தான் நம்ம இப்போ சந்திக்க போகிறோம். அவர் வெறும் ரயில்வே அதிகாரி மட்டுமல்ல, ஒரு எழுத்தாளர், ஒரு கவுன்சிலர்னு சொல்லப்படுகின்ற மன உளைச்சல் இருப்பவர்களை அவர்கள் எப்படி வாழ்க்கையை பற்றி புரிய வைப்பது, வாழ்க்கை எப்படி வாழ்வது என்று பல்வேறு விஷயங்களும் செய்து வருகிறார். இப்படி 30 ஆண்டு காலத்தில் வந்து தன்னுடைய பணியையும் எழுதுகின்ற அந்த எழுத்து உலகத்தையும் எப்படி சரிசமமாக தன்னுடைய நேரத்தை அவர் செலவு செய்கிறார், எப்படி அந்த நேரத்தை சமாளித்துக் கொள்கிறார், எப்படி குடும்பத்தையும் பார்க்கிறார் என்கின்ற அந்த ஒரு கோட்பாடு வாழ்கின்ற ஒரு மனிதர் தான் இவர். அவரை தான் நாம் சந்திக்க இருக்கின்றோம். சார் வணக்கம் சார்.
சார் வணக்கம்.
கிட்டத்தட்ட 30 வருஷமாக வந்து நீங்கள் இந்திய ரயில்வேயில் பல ரயில்வேஸில் இருந்திருக்கீங்க. கிட்டத்தட்ட சில மண்டலங்களில் வேலை செஞ்சுருக்கீங்க. நார்த் ஈஸ்டர்ன், நார்த் வெஸ்டர்ன், அப்புறம் வந்து சவுத் சென்ட்ரல், இப்படி பல ரயில்வேஸில் வேலை செஞ்சுருக்கீங்க. டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பிளேஸஸில் ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. அப்படி வேலை செய்யும்போது பலதரப்பட்ட மக்களை பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, பலப்பட்ட கலாச்சாரத்தை பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. அந்த மாதிரி இந்த 30 வருஷத்தில் உங்களுக்கு ஏற்பட்ட அந்த அனுபவம் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இருந்தது இந்த இந்திய ரயில்வேயில் நீங்கள் ஜாயின் பண்ணும்போது?
Being here in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and it's pouring heavily for the last few days. It's wonderful to be here. I joined the Indian Railway Traffic Service in 1991. I am from the 87 examination. My career began on Northern Railway and I have traversed across India. It has been a very fascinating journey. I have worked in operations, commercial, safety, planning, then IT and claims, various departments of Indian Railways, administration. Have worked, I began my career at Ambala, then that was on Northern Railway, and I have worked in Guwahati, then Bangalore, Bikaner, Jaipur, then Allahabad, now known as Prayagraj. Have had varied experience of meeting people and encountering people and really seeing what is happening. My journey, especially last 2 years of my service, especially during the period of pandemic, has been quite startling. At that time I was posted as the principal chief operating manager of Prayagraj, North Central Railway. At that time we had transported, that is Indian Railways, almost 50 lakh people across the country, and the majority went past Allahabad division and Jhansi divisions of North Central Railway. People all down south were moved, you know. It was an experience which I can never forget in my life, running so many trains, almost 5,000, 6,000 specials where migrant labor had moved. You saw women giving birth to children in trains and passengers who were so hungry, desperate, needing food. I think it was a human service done by Indian Railways.
அதாவது நீங்கள் 30 வருஷமாக பல இடங்களில் ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. அதே மாதிரி ஆர்மிக்கு மில் ரயில்வேஸ் அப்படின்னு இப்போ சொன்னீங்க. அது ஒர்க் பண்ணும்பொழுது வந்து அதனுடைய அனுபவம் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இருந்தது?
I would recall was when I was posted as Director Mill Rail. That was in Delhi, Army headquarters. At that time, this Pokhran blast had taken place in the Kargil war, and I was honored, really. It's a blessing that I was given the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Medal. Normally civilians are not given, so I feel very blessed and honored that I could get it.
சார், எத்தனையோ ரயில்வேயில் ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. ஆனால் இந்த 30 வருஷத்தில் பல இடங்களில் ஒர்க் பண்ணதாக நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க. அப்போ பல இடங்களுக்கு உங்களுக்கு வந்து ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகிறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. கிட்டத்தட்ட இந்த 30 வருஷத்தில் ஆவரேஜாக ஒரு 3.5 வருஷம் 3 வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு இடத்துக்கு ஒரு தடவை நீங்கள் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகிய வாய்ப்பு வரும்பொழுது உங்கள் குடும்பத்தில் குழந்தைகளுடைய படிப்பு, அவங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கை, அதனால் ஏற்பட்ட பாதிப்புகள் நிறைய இருந்திருக்கும் நீங்கள். ஆனால் அதையெல்லாம் எப்படி சமாளிக்கிறது மட்டுமல்லாத ஒரு சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல் ரைட்டராகவும் இருக்கீங்க. இதை எப்படி நீங்கள் சமாளிச்சிங்க? எப்படி அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு பயனுள்ளதாக இருந்தது இந்த இடங்களில் நீங்கள் ட்ராவல் பண்ணும்பொழுது?
If you really want to discover India, one has to travel by rail. And I have been very fortunate that I have moved around at various places. Unfortunately, people get stuck at one place and they don't get transferred. I remember one of my former bosses, General Manager, South Central Railway, he was the Chief Operations Manager of Southern Railway, Mr. Stanley Babu. When he was the GM and the day he retired, he said, I was transferred 13 times, not 13 rooms in one building. So I can also similarly say, having worked in 9 zones, like the beauty of Kerala or Tamil Nadu, it's just fantastic. Similarly, working on Southwestern Railway, the places like Hubli, Goa and Bangalore. Then Northeastern Railway, it was wonderful seeing Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra River. And when I was, say, Northwestern Railway, seeing the deserts of Rajasthan. I mean, it's unbelievable. Or at Prayagraj, one of my great experience was organizing the Kumbh Mela, where, you know, almost 2 to 3 crore people had come. And we ran almost 5 to 6,000 trains, where 2-3 crore people had arrived at Kumbh. That was in 2019. It was a stupendous experience. One had to be there to see how, in a systematic manner, people were transported and, you know, how they stayed there and how they were moved. I think there are 2 factors. Number one, I never said no, and I never asked for any particular posting, except for recently when there was some problem. And I'm very grateful to my wife, who had, you know, taken up this challenge of packing the luggage, which is a very tough job. And my children, who studied at so many places, and I think that has fashioned their personalities immensely, like studying in Andhra or studying, say, in Guwahati, studying in Delhi, so many places. So they too have got that exposure.
இந்த 30 வருஷத்தில் உங்களை மறக்க முடியாத ஒவ்வொரு இடத்துலையும் நீங்கள் ஒரு அதிகாரியாக வந்து சில விஷயங்களை செஞ்சுருப்பீங்க, மாற்றங்களை செஞ்சுருக்கோம். அப்படி எப்படிப்பட்ட மாற்றங்களில் ஒவ்வொரு ரயில்வேலையும் நீங்கள் இருக்கும், ஒவ்வொரு மண்டல ரயில்வேல இருக்கும்போது என்ன மாதிரி விஷயங்களை நீங்கள் செஞ்சுருக்கலாம்? அது மறக்க முடியாத சில முக்கியமான உங்களுடைய கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் என்னவாக இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க?
When I was in the J grade, at that time I was Senior Divisional Operations Manager, Bikaner. At that time, if you recall, the Indian Parliament was attacked, 2002, if I'm not mistaken, or 2001 is. And then we were involved in what is known as the Operation Parakram, wherein trains from all over India, army personnel, they had moved to, and they were guarding Firozpur division of Northern Railway. I was in Bikaner division and Jodhpur division. Across our army people were there. It was a really challenging exercise, and to see and be part of that whole process, that member traffic had, you know, given us this award for that work. It was one real thrilling experience. Another one was when I was director Mill Rail. At that time, this Pokhran had taken place, and we were asked to move trains immediately to various parts. I cannot disclose that because it is secret, but those dialogues being participating with the army personnel, top brass means the real top brass, and the real top brass of railway board. That was a very fascinating experience. Another experience was when while working in Rajasthan, Jaipur and Bikaner, there were extreme drought conditions. So how we moved water specials for people That was a unique experience. Yet another experience was when I was Chief Freight Traffic Manager at Guwahati, Maligaon, Northeast Frontier Railway, wherein, one has to live there to experience what happens. It was just outside the office, my traffic inspector was killed, by a bomb blast. And the entire area was plunged into darkness. But we all gathered courage and we had to come to the control, and how we had operated, saw to it that train services ran. I think Indian Railways, the staff and officers really work commendably. One has to experience that. It's a tremendous thing. Then recently, when I was on North Central Railway, as I had just mentioned, this Kumbh Mela, then movement of migrant specials, that was a unique experience. And Allahabad division, or now called Prayagraj division, is one of the most, is the toughest division perhaps on Indian Railways, where there's so much of freight traffic, so much of passenger traffic. The number of trains which are run are almost, more than 550 freight trains and almost 400 mail express and passenger trains. So that is the quantum of traffic which is run on 3 divisions. It is a big challenge, right from the morning 6 till next morning 6. There's hardly any time but one has to be very alert and work there. And of course, when I landed here during the period of Corona, once again the second wave had struck. We had taken some important steps at Chennai, issuing of ensuring that people wore masks. Then our ticket checking staff had done a remarkable job. They saw to it that despite the Corona, how they had interacted with people. And then this movement of the liquid oxygen specials I had mentioned. Further, now as things are opening up, we've got some good news. Now we are going to reopen catering, which was hitherto not there. On-board catering will start. It was only ready-to-eat meals. That will start soon. We got a call now that platform tickets have been reduced from 50 to 10. That was a big demand of members of parliament. That was being started. All these have been very fascinating experiences, and you meet people, and it's a very challenging job. That our data center, which was set up in 1984, has been refurbished, and it has moved from the 3rd to 2nd floor. That is an MMC, Moor Market Complex. And these servers and all have been done up, and with the help of Chris and our agencies and the division, Madras division, it has been now more robust system we have, which will definitely last for another 20 years. This project was languishing for last 5-6 years. My predecessors had started, and I'm fortunate to be part of the team under our AGM that we could accomplish the target. Now it's in beautiful air-conditioned rooms and very neatly designed, packed. But now it's really good, and it will provide very good service.
இந்தியன் ரயில்வேஸில் நீங்கள் சேர்ந்ததுனால அந்த அனுபவம் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு எழுத்தாளராக எப்படி உங்களுக்கு பயனுள்ளதாக இருக்கிறது? எப்படி இந்த பழக்கம் உங்களுக்கு எழுதுறதுக்கான என்ன மாதிரியாக புத்தகங்கள் நீங்கள் எழுதியிருக்கீங்க?
I was very much interested in theatre, music, then writing, right from my school days. And I was educated in Delhi, St. Xavier School, Delhi, and I had very good tutors and eminent people like Mr. Barry John, Pankaj Kapoor when I was in Hindu College. Then I used to go to National School of Drama, where I had the great fortune of interacting with such great artists like Nasiruddin Shah, Om Puri, and others. That was during music theatre workshops. So I learnt a lot at that time, and writing was a habit, and also reading. And it's a blessing of my parents, especially my father and my mother, who inculcated this habit, and they themselves read and they wanted me to read. But somehow I lost that habit, and it would be a surprise to the viewers that I became an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic for almost 13, 14 years, and it is through the Art of Living Foundation of His Holiness Sri Ravi Shankar that I came out of this alcoholism through what was known as the Part 1 program, and I became a teacher of Art of Living. I am a faculty of Art of Living, and I practice yoga, pranayama, sudarshan kriya, breathing technique, meditation every day. In fact, that gives me the energy to help, and that's where I began my writing. In fact, it so happened that I accounted my journey, how I recovered from alcoholism and my work. They were first printed in a magazine called Life Positive e-magazine, and that's how the writing process began. And I showed those articles to Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankar, who asked me that you keep writing and soon your books will be published. And it so happened that in 2016, my first book, The Matter of the Mind, that was published, and it was unveiled by His Holiness Sri Ravi Shankar during Navaratri festival, which was a very big moment for me. My latest book, The Magic of the Mind, that has now been translated in Tamil, and just 3-4 days back this book has come. So I have written 7 books of non-fiction, 2 of fiction, that is collection of short stories, and have written some anthologies, participated in anthologies. The books of non-fiction primarily deal with my recovery, then on yoga, pranayama, meditation, then breathing technique of sudarshan kriya, and how one can develop a positive attitude and positive mindset to contribute to the society. There is a saying, there's a text called Narad Bhakti Sutra, wherein it's mentioned that these talents are given once in a lifetime, and if you do not use them, you will lose them. So that helped me a lot, and I fulfilled that, what Guruji said, and I kept on writing. I see to it that I keep writing about 400, 500 words a day, as frequently as possible, so that over a period of time, a book gets ready. Normally, an author goes to places to look for his stories. The fact that I have been posted at so many places helped me to gather the stories therein. Like in this Heartbreak at Coffee Shop, there's a collection of short stories which I had written, narrates various places where I was there, and that's how the stories germinated, and I could write them. Living at so many places gave me ideas rather than revisiting them, because I was at so many places.
சார் நிறைய பேர் சொல்கிறாங்க என்கிட்ட நேரம் இல்லை, ரொம்ப டென்ஷனாக இருக்குது, நேரமே பத்தலை, 24 மணி நேரத்தில் அந்த 18-16 மணி நேரம் ஆஃபீஸில் நேரமே பத்தலை அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நிறைய வேலைகளை பெண்டிங்கில் வைக்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு பொறுப்புள்ள பதவியில் இருந்துட்டு கூட இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 9 புத்தகங்களும் எழுதியிருக்கீங்க. அது இல்லாமல் வந்து மெடிடேஷன், பிராணாயாமா, பல விஷயங்களை நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு மோட்டிவேட்டராக, ஒரு கவுன்சிலராக இருக்கீங்க. இது எப்படி உங்களால் முடியுது? அது எப்படி செய்ய முடியும்? வாழ்க்கையில் இப்படியெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியுமா? அவர்களுக்கு என்ன சொல்ல வரீங்க இந்த மாதிரி சந்தேகம் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு?
One has to develop a positive mindset. It would be very good to read inspirational literature, and certainly participate in these programs like the happiness program which I had done. I don't think so time is a factor. it is purely your mindset. That laziness in the mind has to be removed. And I think those who work with me, maybe they are not too happy, but I follow a very strict schedule and I do it. In fact, it's God's grace, I would say, that recently we went to Madurai and Trichy, where we had interacted with members of parliament. But sharp at 5 o'clock while they were sleeping, I got up and I told them, open the gate, I'm going for my walk. So I see to it and I follow that schedule. I do take my walk, then do yoga, and then my breathing technique of Sudarshan Kriya and meditation. That gives me the energy to write and motivate people.
சார், இப்போ சதர்ன் ரயில்வேயில் வந்து சமீபத்தில் வந்து ஜாயின் பண்ணிங்க ஒரு முக்கியமான பொறுப்பில். இந்த அனுபவம், இந்த சென்னையில் இருக்கிற இந்த அனுபவம், இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி இங்கே இருக்கிற கலாச்சாரம், இங்கே இருக்கிற மரபு, இங்கே இருக்கிற உணவு பழக்கங்கள், இங்கே இருக்கிற கோவில்கள், இதை அடிப்படையாக வைத்து ஏதாவது நீங்கள் புத்தகம் எழுதுகின்ற ஏதாவது ஃப்யூச்சர் ஐடியா இருக்கா உங்களுக்கு? அப்படி இருந்தால் என்ன மாதிரி எழுதுறதுக்கான உங்களுக்கு அந்த தாட் என்ன இருக்குது உங்களுக்கு, ஃப்யூச்சர் ஐடியா?
I would certainly like to write on Tamil Nadu, the temples and the architecture that is so fascinating. Then the places like the sea, Mahabalipuram and Pondicherry. It was recently I had gone there visiting Aurobindo Ashram, Auroville. I hope that opens up fast. It's so remarkable. You go to Tanjore, it's such a fantastic thing to see the Brihadeshwara temple, and it's the people of South are so different, you know. Kerala is God's own country, then Tamil Nadu has its own beauty, whether it's temples, churches, mosques. It's a highly pluralistic kind of a thing, and you get a very different flavor. And living in so many parts of India, I think that is the genuine India. Indians really love each other, and there's so many places to be seen. And I think being here, years back as a child, I used to come to Kacheri Road. My grandparents used to stay there at Mylapore. So I have fond memories of part of then called Madras, now Chennai. It's a unique thing. They are what I would really like to write is on the architecture, the culture, the music, the cuisine, all so different, which I'm sure should be explored by everybody. Yes, there is a story I've been working on that's about my grandmother. So I would like to do that. I'll tell you about Mylapore, where I used to come for my holidays. In fact, my great-grandfather, his name is Mr. Ramdas Pantulu, though from Andhra, but he was based here. He was a vakil, then it was called vakil, and he pioneered the cooperative movement in India. And he also traveled with Mahatma Gandhi in 1932, I think, for the second round table conference. It was 32 or
31, sir.
31, yes.
31.
So when I joined, I went there. Now some part is there, but still it was a very nostalgic thing to see the pillars which still have lions on them, and below it's written Ramdas Vakil. So that was a very emotional moment for me.
சமீபமாக வந்து நீங்கள் டேக் ஓவர் பண்ண பிறகு சதர்ன் ரயில்வேல குறிப்பிடும்படியான என்ன ஒரு மாற்றம், என்ன மாதிரி ஒரு பெரிய டாஸ்க் எடுத்து பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்களேன்.
Well, number one, 93% of the mail express trains have been restored, and 53% of the passenger trains have been restored. That will increase. Then we have also been given permission to run more of unreserved coaches. That will be a big benefit for the traveling public. The monthly season tickets, they have also been restored. These are some positive steps being taken. On platforms, We have now slowly started opening all the waiting halls, etc., baby feeding rooms and things like that. The retiring rooms have been opened, and such steps have taken place, which will help the traveling public. But we are repeatedly, another major step which we have taken under the leadership of our general manager to ensure that the staff get all vaccinated. In fact, commercial department, we have seen to it, likewise other departments also, that almost 90 to 95% of the people have been vaccinated. Because, you know, ticket checking staff, it is so essential that they get vaccinated. Otherwise, they have this propensity, you know. One major thing, in the last 10 years, the figures which I have seen, we have done the maximum ticket checking earnings in spite of the corona. Despite that, the earnings have been higher more than last 10 years. That has been a very big job and a wonderful job done by our ticket checking staff, I would say. We have moved a lot of parcel traffic, new parcel traffic, in form of, you know, rubber plants from Kerala. Then yesterday only pineapples were moved from Trivandrum. Similarly, Madurai and Salem, they have also started loading different products which were hitherto not loaded. There is a big scope of movement of fly ash from Metro Dam. We are in talks, and also this Ola factory has come up, so that is also, we are working on that. So that should come to Southern Railway. Then we have held dialogues with Renault, Nissan and these companies, so that would be, that has started. We want to go forward. So these are some other areas where we are focusing on.
Sir, how to be happy?
How to be happy is to be in the present moment. It's like, you know, it's a story of a Buddhist monk. He was sitting beside the river and he saw the water going by and he was just wondering, and suddenly that enlightenment struck, that the water which flew, which has gone by, is past, and what has to come, that will be future. So just enjoy the water which is there. Look at the sunlight on that water and how beautiful it is. Another thing is, when you're breathing, what you have breath, the breath you have already taken, that is past. What you're taking now is present. What will come, we don't even know.